I mean, actually, we can throw it back to your country, the UK, which passed a law to not allow foreign investment of press, right? Of journalism.
Specifically for the Daily Telegraph. And we should just explain IMI, Redbird, IMI being one of the UAE investment funds, the joint vehicle with the US fund Redbird, wanted to acquire Britain's distinguished Daily Telegraph, of whom I'm a paid subscriber with my own money, and were blocked from doing so essentially by the UK Parliament. I think have now actually largely withdrawn from the race to acquire the Telegraph at all. So we know that in the UK, Gulf ownership of any media asset, including news assets, is an issue. Could it also be an issue in the US?
Yes, I think, and we were discussing this previously because it's Saudi, it's UAE, and it's Qatar, and we're already seeing stories now trending on social media, especially criticizing conservative influencers for taking funding from Qatar and going on these paid trips. So the sort of anti-Gulf influence in the US is already beginning this sort of narrative. And actually, before we were coming over here, I saw this comedic creator reel where it was like watching a movie and it had all of the, like the Paramount opening and the Netflix opening and Warner Brothers opening. And then it had like a really dramatic, like Saudi public investment fund with the swords. And so the creators, they're looking at each other like, what? I mean, just to take it back to a serious note, I think the relationship between the US and Saudi Arabia, the US public is still kind of stuck, especially for the 9/11 generation, in that narrative. And so the American public is still kind of evolving in their feelings towards Saudi Arabia and separating between 9/11 hijackers and the Saudi Arabian population of today, which is very young, under 30. And so I think 2026 is gonna be really interesting when it comes to this acquisition. And I think also we need to remind the public that there's news organizations involved in this, not just CBS, but also like what happens to CNN?
So potentially CNN. I think I've got this right. Warner Brothers had previously spun off CNN along with some of their other channels, but it's not impossible that Paramount might also bid for those. And so you could potentially see this consolidation where CNN could be under the same ownership as CBS News. There might be a kind of process of savings and synergies behind that. You're right, it's going to be one of the big stories of 2026, how this all plays out and whether American regulators, potentially kind of more